Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new podcast with me, Jahan or G, whichever one you want to call me. I really don't mind. Today I have a range of things to talk about, but the first thing I do want to talk about is online school. And I want to ask, does anyone genuinely enjoy online school? Like, can you say, like, from the bottom of your heart, hands down, you sit there for however long your class is and you pay attention and you make notes and, without picking up your phone, without, walking away from your computer, without, like, is there anyone who actually does that? Because the only class that I have three classes, and I am only able to say that I genuinely enjoy one of them, and that's the domestic violence class I'm in. And that's because I find it very interesting. Otherwise, I can't say that I know what's going on in my other two classes, which is really bad considering I'm paying £9 a year for it. If you do enjoy your classes, or even if you don't enjoy it but you still manage to get through it, please tell me how, because I'm really struggling. I get up every 5 minutes and go somewhere in my house because I just have no enjoyment in it unless it's the domestic violence one, in which case I sit through the entire 3 hours of the class. I just don't I just don't enjoy it anymore. And it sucks because I absolutely love education and I love essays and I love uni, and I've always loved school and schoolwork and stuff. But I'm really struggling now. And it makes me want to cry because it's like, uni is supposed to be the best years of your life, and I'm spending those years at home. I don't have a problem with it, but for someone who's paying 9,250 grand a year, like, I want to go in to uni and I want to use the facilities and I want to be able to have the experience, but I just can't because Miss Rona hasn't finished her world tour yet. And okay, to be fair, I can't blame it on the coronavirus. It's not COVID's fault. It's the UK people's fault. It's the citizens, the residents, whoever lives in the UK. It's their fault. Why? Because they're not listening to the rules. They're going out, they're mingling, they're not wearing their masks, they're not listening to instructions. And it's really annoying. It's really frustrating because it's like, hun, I'm sitting at home, not seeing my best friends, not seeing members of my family, literally just minding my own business, struggling my butt off at online school to maintain the grades while my mental health and grades are dropping. And you're busy out there shopping in Iceland with your mask off and then going off to mingle with Steve. Like, I just don't understand it. Just stay home. The more we stay home, the faster we all stay home and work together, the quicker we can all get back to a somewhat normal life. But you lot don't want that, do you? Because you don't want to listen to Bojo. You don't want to listen to the lockdown instructions. You just want to go out and have the time of your life. You want the life that we had before COVID, but you're not allowing COVID to, become under control. So I just don't understand it. I don't want to, walk away from the subject too far that I was talking about. I need to know if you guys are able to, pay attention in your online classes, because I really don't. And I have my microphone off and I have my camera off. Well, my camera on my laptop doesn't really work anyway, but I just don't enjoy it. And it bothers me a lot because I'm like, I'm doing everything I can. I'm staying up late to write my assignments, to plan them out, and I just feel like there's no help. Like, I don't know. The other main topic of this podcast that I do want to talk about are like TikTokers and stuff, because I'm really not happy with what I'm seeing, and I'm sure I've done a podcast stating similar things to what I'm about to state in this one. But my problem is that TikTokers think that their fame is going to save them from COVID, that their rich privilege, and I hate to say it, but their white privilege is going to save them from getting COVID. Like, I know it sounds really bad, and I will never wish death or illness upon anyone, not even my worst enemies, but I feel that these TikTokers that are constantly partying, constantly not staying home, I think they do need to catch COVID. Even if it's not a severe case, they have to catch it in order for them to be scared enough to stay home, because they have millions of people watching them. a lot of them little kids, and they're, these little kids, they look up to them. And I know that it's easy to be like, oh, you're a role model, you got to live up to your name. But it's like, when I was like, I don't know, 12, I found Bethany Motor on YouTube for the first time. And I wanted to be like Bethany Motor, and she was my role model, and I wanted to do everything that she was doing. I would even reenact her YouTube videos at home. So I know that influencers have got some sort of power. They have got an influence on people. It's not just a title. If I was feeling like that about Bethany Motor, there's definitely other kids out there at, ages 12 and younger or 12 and older who see all these TikTokers go out partying and just not caring. And I think it's ridiculous, and a lot of these TikTokers need to catch the virus in order to realize just how serious it is. And I know a lot of them are like, oh, we get tested. I don't believe that you are getting tested. And if you are getting tested, stop getting tested and stay home. You're wasting tests that could be used on people who actually are positive. Stop doing it. I know that Nikita Dragun threw a birthday party, and I was like, bro, what are you doing? Stay home. Are you aware? Nikita, she actually posted on her Instagram story. This is what I saw on TikTok room. She goes, oh, I might as well just apologize in advance because I'm about to act up on my birthday. And I'm like, so you're not even ashamed. I feel like they just don't care. They think that COVID isn't real. And they think that they can fix everything by telling everyone that they got tested. Like, I don't care if you got tested. You can get tested 300 times in a row, and that's still not a valid reason for you to throw a party. It does, just because you tested negative doesn't mean you're not a carrier. You could still carry the virus, and it's so easy to fake a negative on a test. I just don't believe it. And then she went on to post a picture of this massive COVID test kit. And it had, I think, it had loads of these, the swabs that you use for the test. It had loads of them in there. And I was just getting so annoyed because I'm like, literally just stay home. Just stay home. It's not hard. Just don't go out. If you want anything, order in. Don't feel like you have to go out of your way and throw a party. Just don't do it. And the thing is, I can't just put the blame on Nikita, right? Yes, it was really stupid of her to throw a party, but at the same time, the people that were invited, the guests, could have said no. No, Nikita, I can't come because there's a pandemic, if you haven't noticed, and I don't want to be responsible. I just don't see why the guests aren't saying no. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And these TikTokers, I think they need to start getting fined. It's not fair that, all these people are getting fined and they can't afford the fine. But all these TikTokers that are publicly putting their parties and social gatherings on the internet for everyone to see, and there's no consequences apart from them getting cancelled for a couple of days, and then after that, people forget about it. I think it's just ridiculous, and I just don't agree with any of it at all. I know that Kendall Jenner threw a party actually, and she had a no social media rule, which was very, very sly of her and very slimy. That she thought she could tell people not to post on social media. Like, hun, it still got out. Everyone knows that you threw a party and told people not to post about it. Like, I saw a post somewhere saying that she then got her sisters to post about the party. But whatever it is, like, it just I don't know, guys. It just frustrates me, and I have no more words left. I have come to the conclusion that watching all of these TikTokers, like dumbest moments or whatever, it's literally shocking that they've got platforms in the first place. Doing something as simple as wearing a mask over your mouth and your nose, that can influence millions of people to do the same. I've seen TikTokers wear it under their nose, and I'm like, you do realize that it's airborne. I don't know whether a lot of people know that COVID is airborne, but it does travel through the air, which means that if someone sneezes and you this sounds disgusting, but if someone sneezes and you like are breathing the same air as them, or if they cough and you breathe the same air as them or whatever, it like you can get it. It is an airborne virus. So the fact that people think it's okay to just not wear it, I understand that it can be hard to breathe with a mask, but it's also like important that you do cover your nose, because it's like you have two ways of breathing. You can breathe through your mouth or through your nose. So it doesn't matter whether your mouth is not covered and your nose is covered, or vice versa and your nose is not covered. Either way, if you breathe it in, you can get it. And the consequences are just the same as anyone else getting the COVID. I think it's just ridiculous, honestly. I just thought I'd kind of like let you guys know how I feel, because I know that I'm not the only one who feels this way. I'm at a point in life where I don't really care if anyone watches my content or listens to my podcasts. And I know it sounds really bad, but it's like I kind of like use my content, like my YouTube stuff, my podcasts, as a checkpoint in my life, you know, before views and stuff would really bother me, and I'd be like, why doesn't this have more views? Why doesn't this have more listens? But I'm at a point in life where I'm just kind of like, years from now, is any of this really going to matter to me? Years from now, when I've got like a husband and kids, I can look back at my podcasts and my videos and be like, oh yeah, that's what I look like. Oh yeah, that's what happened on this day. Oh yeah, that's what point at my life. That's the point at my life that I was feeling like this. Like, for me, posting content is of course about entertaining others and making others feel like safe and everything. I want to be like a comfort person, you know, like Emma Chamberlain is like my comfort person. I like watching her videos and it just kind of brings me comfort and stuff. I want to be like that for other people, but at the same time, if I don't get that platform that I'm working hard to get, I need to stop beating myself up about it and just be like, it's whatever, you know, God has a different plan and I can't change that. I just have to go along with whatever God wants me to go along with. I have been feeling really demotivated, and I know that is because of lockdown. I know that if COVID never existed, for starters, I would be in uni right now, like physically there. I wouldn't be sitting here filming this podcast because I am on a 2-hour break or whatever. Like I would be in uni. I wouldn't be recording this. But I do know that COVID, the lockdown, has mentally impacted a lot of people, and things like depression, anxiety have skyrocketed. And I just want to let people know, anyone out there who is, you know, struggling mentally, you know, you're loved. I'm always here. My DMs are always open. I love talking to you guys. And just know that I'm always here for anyone, you know. And to be honest, you've got more chance of me noticing you than you have a bigger celebrity, because I have a smaller platform. So if you do need anyone to reply to you, then I'm your girl. So don't hesitate, and just know that no matter what it is that you're going through right now, there is a light side to every tunnel, and there is, you know, there is a positive outcome to everything. And you're doing so well right now, you know, you're doing incredibly. You've made it this far. You've made it this far in life, and, you know, you're doing well. And I'm proud of you. If no one's told you that, I am proud of you. And I know that it can be a really, really big struggle, but I am incredibly proud of how far you've come. And I see you and I hear you. And if you ever need anything, I'm here. You know, don't be embarrassed to DM me, and just, you could literally tell me anything. You could run, you could spill the tea on whatever it is. I'm not a judgmental person at all. And I hate judging people because I don't know what they're going through, so I don't judge people. So don't hesitate to contact me if you need. And just know that if things are getting really bad and you are struggling to cope, there are so many people out there that you can speak to, and you shouldn't be embarrassed or shy to get the help you need. Never be embarrassed to ask for help. I know that a lot of men suffer from mental health conditions, and don't let the stereotypes surrounding your gender stop you from getting the help you need, because you're just as important as women. So is your mental health. It is so important that you look after yourself. We don't know each other, right? So it's always better to tell a stranger about your problems. I'm not one to judge. Boys and girls, if you have any problems mentally, if you just want someone to talk to, if you just want to run, if you just want to, get things off your chest, my DMs are open. Go for it. I don't mind. If you have any loved ones, make sure that they're okay, because this is an incredibly difficult time. And I just want you all to know that now's a really good time for everyone to pull together and make sure that everyone is okay, and just to look after each other. It's just really, really important, and it's something that I am very passionate about, mental health. So if you are struggling, man or woman, I'm always here. Right. I've been talking for almost 20 minutes. Whenever I do a podcast, it goes really, really fast. But I did need to give that little mental health speech, because it is something that is truly important to me. As someone with anxiety, I know how bad mine is getting. And just treat me like the sister you guys never had, or the best friend that you never had. I'm that girl, I'll listen to you guys whenever you need. And I hope that you guys would listen to me too. So many people are kind of living the same life. Let me tell you about my day, right? I get up, depending on the time, I either have breakfast or I have lunch. And then I don't know, the rest is usually a blur, but I either do school, I have like online lectures or whatever, but I spend a lot of my time watching Disney Plus or YouTube, and then suddenly it's dinner time, and then I have my dinner, and then I go to bed. And then I get into bed at like 8, 9 p.m., maybe 10, and then I struggle to sleep, so then I end up staying up till like 1 a.m. And then I manage to sleep, and then I get up, and it like is literally the same thing. So guys, I feel like everyone's living the same kind of routined life. I find it really hard to believe that we don't have a similar routine. And I also want to say, if you are a key worker, thank you so much for risking your life to save other people's. That is a big thing. And I feel like you deserve a lot more recognition. I really don't have much to say in this podcast, so this is going to be a pretty short episode. But I did just really want to come on here and just make sure that you guys are all okay. Make sure that if you guys are struggling mentally, you know that there are people out there that love you and care for you and are proud of you and will do anything to help you get better. Think about someone that you really love, or someone that you really care for. If you saw them going through the same things as you, what would you do? You would comfort them, you would give them the love they deserve, and you would help them. So you should do the same for yourself. I'm really passionate about mental health and stuff, and I don't really want to say anything else, because I just want to leave you guys with that message. Yeah. So do remember that you wouldn't let your loved ones go through what you're going through, so don't let yourself go through it either. Take care, guys. I know it's short, I know it's a bit of an awkward podcast, and I do apologise for that. I don't really have much more to say, and I just want to let you guys know that I am here for you. Share this podcast with anyone that you think needs to hear some words of encouragement. And yeah.